Dexter vs. Ian Episode 7 Theories Gemini Twin Revenge. Batista's Hunt. You ever watch an episode of a show and realize, halfway through, you're not breathing? Because that was me during Dexter. Resurrection Episode 6. My popcorn was cold, my drink was warm, and my jaw permanently on the floor. And just when I thought I had it all figured out, when I thought Dexter finally outsmarted Prater's serial killer hit list, the episode looked me straight in the face and whispered, "Oh, you sweet summer child, you've seen nothing yet." Because, friends, we didn't just meet Gemini. We met Gemini times 2. That's right, a twin. Which instantly changes everything. And before you say, "Sophia, you're overreacting," it's just a plot twist. Let me remind you, Dexter just walked into a trap where every step forward could be another grave. And you know me, I don't just watch these scenes. I autopsy them. I pull the crime scene tape over your screen and show you the fingerprints the writers thought we'd never notice. So here's the question that's been haunting me. What happens when the one killer Dexter thought he'd checked off his list turns out to have a second set of eyes watching from the shadows? Look, I'm gonna say it. This twist isn't just good television. It's dangerous. It's dangerous because it forces Dexter into a game he cannot control. And if you've been with this show since Miami days, you know Dexter only makes mistakes when he's reacting instead of planning. We saw it with Trinity. We saw it with Miguel Prado. And now, the Gemini twins are built to exploit that exact weakness. And here's the kicker. The real threat might not even be Gemini at all. No, the silent storm here is Batista, moving inch by inch toward the truth. The Bay Harbor Butcher truth. That secret Dexter thought he buried in the Everglades along with his old life. Batista's sniffing it out like a bloodhound that's been starving for years. The pain point here isn't, will Dexter survive? It's, will Dexter survive long enough to see who takes him down first? Gemini or Batista? By the way, if you're watching this right now and you aren't subscribed to Breakdown Epic, I'm gonna be real with you. You're basically leaving yourself defenseless in this investigation. This channel is the safe house. This is where we map the crime scene before anyone else. Subscribe right now so you don't miss when the case blows open. Here's the secret no one's talking about. Gemini's twin isn't just a last-minute shock to pad runtime. The entire Gemini case profile has been sitting in plain sight since episode 2. Remember how Harrison noticed those strange double patterns in the victim reports but brushed it off? That wasn't sloppy writing, that was the breadcrumb trail. The twins have been killing in stereo, using each other as perfect alibis. And here's where it gets even darker. FBI Most Wanted rankings. Only one Gemini is officially listed, meaning the twin in hiding has never been photographed, never been fingerprinted, and, get this, might even have a clean legal record, which makes him infinitely more dangerous because you can't hunt what doesn't exist on paper. Now imagine this. Dexter thinks he's cornered the real threat, does his ritual, lays out the plastic, and the brother walks free, slipping right into his life's blind spot. That's the revenge story we're not ready for. But the forbidden knowledge part, that comes from something I caught on my second rewatch. Batista's file folders in episode 6. If you pause at exactly 3:60:14, there's a document with 2 highlighted names, both connected to Miami, and one of them lines up with a possible twin alias from a cold case over a decade old. I'm telling you, the writers are breadcrumbing us toward a Gemini, Bay Harbor Butcher crossover endgame. Alright, let's do a little field work together. Imagine you're Dexter for a second. Mask, gloves, the whole dark passenger, starter kit. You've just neutralized who you think is Gemini. The news is reporting the most wanted name as dead. Are you celebrating? Or are you checking the shadows for someone who looks exactly like the man you just killed? Drop your answer in the comments. Team celebrate or team check the shadows? I'll pin the best theory under this video. And no shame if you're in the panic and run camp. Honestly, I'd be there too. And while we're here, remember in our episode 4 breakdown when I said Prater doesn't actually want Dexter dead yet, just broken? Yeah, this twist feeds right into that. Twins mean twice the psychological warfare, twice the opportunity to make Dexter doubt every move. It's like the writers decided, hey, remember when Dexter barely kept his cool with Trinity? Let's clone that nightmare and put it on steroids. And Dexter's out here giving touching eulogies, babysitting neighbor kids, and I'm just yelling at my screen. Buddy, you're one bad day away from a double plastic wrap special. But let's not forget our boy Harrison. Oh, Harrison, you try to flirt, you end up babysitting, and somehow you almost throw hands with the Sopranos landlord. I swear if Harrison survives this season, it'll be because the twins are too busy laughing at his side quests. Now, let's pull on the second, quieter thread of episode 6, the one that's gonna feel like a ticking time bomb in episode 7, Batista. For years, Batista has been the emotional conscience of this franchise. He's the guy who can crack a joke at a barbecue and still walk into a crime scene like he's carrying the weight of every victim on his shoulders. And now, he's methodically, patiently, strategically circling Dexter. The NYPD thinks he's just here to consult. I think Batista's running his own side investigation, and it's only a matter of time before those Miami memories start bleeding through. We already saw him connect the dots between Dexter's red persona and the rideshare killer's MO. But here's the forbidden knowledge you won't hear anywhere else. Batista is quietly hunting for inconsistencies in Harrison's life too. That conversation with Wallace and Olivia, not just shop talk. He asked about Harrison first. That's a chess move. That's a man setting up to corner Dexter by going after the one piece on the board he knows Dexter can't sacrifice. A looping tension twin revenge. And here's where both plot lines intertwine in the most dangerous way possible. Imagine episode 7 opening with the surviving Gemini twin learning who Dexter really is. Not just the killer, but the father. What's the fastest way to hurt a predator like Dexter? You don't hunt him, you hunt his cub. If the twin gets to Harrison before Batista does, we're not just talking about physical danger, we're talking about a psychological spiral. Dexter can compartmentalize his own safety, but Harrison's, that's the one trigger that could make him sloppy. And sloppy Dexter is exactly what Batista needs to close the Bay Harbor butcher case. Think about it, Batista doesn't even have to catch Dexter in the act. All he needs is enough erratic behavior, enough suspicious movements, and enough coincidences to convince the NYPD that the Bay Harbor butcher is alive and thriving. The moment that suspicion goes public, Dexter's mask is gone. Your audience poll, pick your poison, so let's play a game, because I genuinely want to see where you stand on this. If you had to pick Dexter's bigger threat right now, who would it be? Gemini twin revenge, a ghost with your face, free to move without your knowledge, fueled by a vendetta. Batista's hunt, a relentless old friend, armed with your history, creeping closer every day. Drop a 1 or 2 in the comments and defend your choice like you're testifying at Dexter's trial. And yes, I will be reading them like I'm the judge and jury. Hey, humor and callback beat, it's honestly hilarious. Dexter finally starts doing the good dad thing, and the universe is like, cool story. Here's a serial killer twin and your old cop buddy with a vengeance. Somewhere in the writer's room, there's a board that says, how can we ruin Dexter's week? And episode 6 was them checking every box. And remember when I said back in episode 3 that every ally will eventually become a liability? Yeah, at this point, even Harrison's babysitting gigs feel like a setup. I wouldn't be surprised if episode 7 opens with the landlord turning out to be connected to Prater's network. An emotional opinion, the real threat. Here's my honest opinion, and you can roast me in the comments if you disagree. The twin isn't actually the final boss here. The twin is bait. The real endgame is Batista. The writers know fans have been waiting for years for someone to close the Bay Harbor butcher case, and Batista is the perfect choice because he's not just a cop. He's family. That's what will make the eventual confrontation devastating. Not the violence, but the betrayal. Batista won't come in guns blazing. He'll come in with a folder, a quiet voice, and a single question Dexter can't talk his way out of right now. Dexter's juggling so many threats he's basically the Leonardo DiCaprio, spinning the top in Inception. Meme, except every dream layer has another serial killer in it. And Harrison. He's that one friend in a horror movie who says, we should split up, and then wonders why bad things keep happening. Alright, I want to lock in your predictions. Episode 7 is going to give us at least one of 3 things Gemini twin face off. Batista getting his first undeniable piece of evidence, or a Harrison plotline that forces Dexter to choose between protecting his son, or keeping his identity hidden. Which one do you think hits first? And do you think Dexter makes it out of episode 7 without losing someone? Drop your answer below. Because if you're right, I might just feature your comment in the next breakdown. And if you're new here, welcome to Breakdown Epic, where we don't just watch, we investigate. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when we dig into the next piece of forbidden knowledge the writers try to hide. Episode 7 is going to change the game, and by the time the dust settles, either the twin or Batista will be standing over Dexter's shoulder. The question is, which one will strike first?